Happy holidays.
It worked. Yay.
It worked. Welcome to Explain Yourself. My name is Kevin Joseph. I'm joined by my co-host, Will Allred. Will, how are you, sir?
Doing all right. Hey, everyone. Yeah, it's been a long week, man.
It has been a long week. It's been about 4 months, and I felt every week of those 4 months. But it's been a good week too. Yesterday I went to my kid's Christmas show where she got to play Mrs. Claus. So
Awesome.
Yeah, it was a little stressful making sure she didn't curse when she missed a line or anything, which she did not. So that was nice. And we are retiring that Explain Yourself intro that was our 2021 intro. We will show you our 2022 intro. Joey Galvez created an awesome one, which I forgot to put into StreamYard. And that is why we're making an official declaration that it's going to be next year. And
we totally planned that. We totally planned that.
Absolutely. And as with all of our planning, it's more luck than skill. And we have 2 projects that we're going to talk about to start tonight. Luckily, with the same artist, and lucky for both projects, the artist is absolutely amazing. I believe it is Anuka Pineda is the artist on both, and we're going to ask you to give a 30-second pitch. Chris, do you want to give us the pitch on Majestic?
Yeah, sure. So this is my first time pitching it in person. Like when you go to cons and stuff for those old series, it's a lot easier. But for something brand new, I'm just going to read off the Kickstarter page. So it's a shape-shifting girl that must help a young outcast boy return home in this gorgeous fantasy about learning to love yourself. And Beautiful. This is a full volume 1, so it's about 4 issues of content packed into like one soft cover.
Nice. Cool. And Bear or Bee, who wants to give us the sunburned pitch?
Okay, well, I don't know who I am. Really? Neither do I at this point. Okay. Yeah, no. So this is their last of the prequels that we have for our main comic, which is a LGBTQ sci-fi story. But this it has followed them since in this one they're 18 and 20. And it's about 2 different boys from different starts in life and how they've come together to survive. And it also has a lot to do with the different forces that are keeping them apart, mostly in this one. That's my short one. I'll give the long pitch later.
We'll do it. We're actually
revealed to say.
Yeah. So here's how I met Bear and Bee. It was at a Palm Beach Comic-Con, and these 2 young ladies walk up to me and they say, "We hope to do a comic." And I go, "Okay, cool." And they kind of start telling me about this sci-fi adventure, and they said, "Can we give you these really nice, not photocopies? They were like vinyl, like nice, like you went to Kinko's and really put the money into it. These photocopies." And they're like, they said, if you want to read it, you can. If you don't want to read it, you look at how shy she is on the camera. If you don't want to read it, don't worry, it's no problem. And I'm like, I'm going to read it. And I was honest. I said, but I might lose it in my stuff. So it could be 6 months from now. And sure enough, 3 months, 4 months later, I see it. I'm like, oh, crap, I got to read this. And I'm like, I like this comic. I really do. And now, B, that was your artwork on it, wasn't it?
Yes, that was before I met Anakin.
Well, as I told you, the artwork was awesome and certainly worth using. But, I mean, Anakin is also a gorgeous artist, so I understand. When you're an 8, but you can hire a 10, you do it. But I had no way to contact you, so it was about 1.5 years before I could say, "Guys, I really like your comic." And you went, "We have good news. We've got a new artist. We've got new stories, and you can read it online." I was like, "All right." So they're going for it. Well, I am going to put the page up and I do need to actually, Jonathan Hedrick, who's probably going to be joining us, sent me a Facebook message asking if we were going to meet up tonight. So I kind of got to dodge over to let him know, yes, we are, and we're doing it. But you guys can start. Will, can you pull up the page? And
I can sure try.
Yeah, and I'm going to mute myself.
All right, I will try to pull up the page. Give me one moment here. Let's find it under banners.
Random if like doing that. I just wanted to say that and this Sky was actually Anniku's first comic that she ever made. We got her. Well, I met her 4 years ago, maybe 3.5 years ago, and so it's just been really, really cool to see her progress in, not only on Sky, but also then being able to go on to Majestic and all these other.
Yeah, her work's amazing. I think I saw like pages from the comic, one of your guys' comics. That's how I found her work.
There it is.
You got it. You got in front of me, man. Thanks. I was having some problems there.
It's fine. We got Will the hosting duties behind, but I don't know what he can actually see and can't. So as always, we like to make our mistakes in front of everybody.
Exactly.
Show we're human. Let people know that we're not these high and mighty, perfect beings that everybody thinks we are. And instead, we're just complete and total futtering assholes, which is what we really are. So, oh man, her artwork is so beautiful.
Oh wow, yeah.
How did you meet her?
So I wanted some stickers done, and she was an artist on Instagram.
Okay.
And that was how we first met, and we, started talking about different things and different projects, and now we talk like every day.
She came to me and she's like, "Hey, would it be okay if I hired someone to do the comic?" And I was like, "But what about your stuff?" She's like, "I hate my stuff. Let's hire someone." And I was like, "Okay."
That's
so I am so sorry. I'm having trouble getting to Jonathan. I'm going to step away for 1 sec.
Okay.
Will, it's all yours because I feel like I'm screwing everything up by trying to do this.
Okay. So let's talk about the team on the book. I assume that are you guys co-writing it, and then you've got Annika on the art. What about the rest of the team? And I think they just froze. Yes, I bring the killer touch. There we go. Sorry, you froze on us there for a moment.
Oh, glad we're back. So I do all the outlines and layouts and things like that, and then I usually,
and then I write all of it, and then she goes, "This is terrible. Let me make it better." And you write it again, and I go, "Okay." And then eventually it gets to a point where we say, "All right, we could do this."
Yeah. So that's our writing process. But then yes, we also have Anniku on interior art and color, and then we have DC Hopkins on our. Oh no, that's our other book. We have another book. We have lots of books.
That's okay. We always we always let DC get a shout out on the show, so that's fine. And I did step away. I figured out what I was doing. I was looking through Dropbox to find a Google Doc.
Hey, there he is. Hey.
Jonathan, welcome. We are talking about Sunburn to Rebuild the Sky prequel, and we're going to get to Quicksand and Majestic with you in just a couple minutes.
All right,
Welcome.
thanks.
Yeah, no, this isn't Jonathan's fault. I thought I sent him the link through Kickstarter, and apparently when it got sucked into the quicksand. So that I'm just trying to be on. I'm trying to be on theme. Trying to figure stuff out.
Perfect.
So we were talking about the team, and this is your first Kickstarter, is that right? Or this is not your first one? This is a prequel, though, right?
Right. Yeah, it's a prequel.
Oh no, this is our fourth Kickstarter actually.
Fourth Kickstarter. Okay, cool.
So we have the prequel trilogy. This is the final one of the prequels, and then we did one for the actual first book of Rebuild the Sky. We were going to alternate back and forth, but then we just let's just get all the prequels out. So yeah.
Cool.
And you do these as web comics first, correct?
Yeah, so we actually do the traditional page for the traditional comic, and then we alter it to be scrolling format, and then that's what we put online.
So, you conceive it as a regular comic, you then prepare it for the web comic, and then you kickstart it. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you.
No, but it's great. It's one thing of work, and you get to deliver it multiple ways, and then people can read it online for free. They can come buy it on the Kickstarter. You're finding your audience in multiple places and spaces. So that's really nice. Where did you guys come up with this world? I don't know if you heard it. Where did you come up with the world of Sunburned?
The Lord.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh. All right. I think we're having Wi-Fi issues with Baron B, and so what we're going to do is hopefully
Everybody's
get back
frozen
with us.
for us.
Yeah, we're going to get you back in here, but we're going to let Jonathan Hendrick do his 30-second elevator pitch for Quicksand because we didn't get him in at the start. So if someone was walking past your con table for Quicksand, what would you tell them?
I would tell them it's a sci-fi horror miniseries about this hole that opens up in the ground near the pyramids of Egypt. These monsters come out of it. They attack a nearby city and then retreat. And then the leaders from around the world gather up a team to send them into that hole, research what happened, where these things came from, but the team never comes back. So the series follows what we do on this planet after something like that happens.
Nice. All right. So we're going to get deep dive in that after we get into Majestic, because Curtis, I want to kind of put the two NQ projects together and show a little bit more of her art. But before we get to that, we want to celebrate every creator's huge news. Yes. And we saw a little something with Dark Horse today. Please, what's going on? Celebrate your win for us.
Yeah, so we signed this deal with Dark Horse almost 2 years ago. It was before the pandemic, so it was a while ago. And it's going to be to publish Beastlands as a trade paperback. It's going to collect the first 5 issues that we did on Kickstarter. It'll come out in June 28th, 2022, available for pre-order now. It's exciting. It's taken forever to get here, but it's finally feels real. Finally feels real with the announcement and everything.
Congratulations. How hard is it to sit on your hands with something like that coming?
Very hard, just to keep quiet. You can't talk about it. Everybody's always asking about the Beastlands trade, because we still are kickstarting single issues to continue the story. And I could just never tell anybody that it's going to be out with Dark Horse yet. I didn't want to spoil the news too early.
Right. Well, congratulations. We're going to get into what you're actually kickstarting, but Will and I said that before. We're like, heck, man, something like that. We got to at least celebrate with you.
Appreciate it.
All right, so I'm pulling up Majestic, And here is that beautiful Pineda art coming in here. It was funny. I saw this and I went, this looks so familiar. Her style is so similar. And then I saw the last name and I went right to the sunburn. I'm like, well, that's why these creators, these writers are really smart hiring her. How did you run into her?
I think same thing, just through Instagram, and then she's already done some work for some of their books. So I think I saw like her finished pages on the works and checked out their Kickstarter, and then I just thought her work was amazing. So I contacted her for this pitch I had, and then we just started working on this about a little over a year ago, last December or last like November.
Yeah, this cover is just so elegant and gorgeous and sexy without being, exploitative. It's really just a gorgeous piece of work. Tell us about Majestic deep down. How you said this was about 4 comics worth collected?
Yeah, about 4 comics worth collected into a paperback trade. So it should be like 90-ish pages plus back matter.
Nice. And is this beginning, in middle, and end of the story, or do you have other arcs that you can tell in this world?
Other arcs for sure. So I think we would like to get to 3 volumes. So this is kind of like the first volume, and then Lyra and Mako's story continues. So for volume 2 and volume 3, probably all about the same length.
Nice. Was there a reason why you did all the trade paperback to start as opposed to single issues, or was what went into that thinking?
Oh man, it was I guess just trying to get it all done quicker. Like I've always done single issues up to this point, and it just it's successful. It works because you build up that audience. Like every Kickstarter, like Beastlands, it really has paid off, and we've really built up an audience. But it takes a lot longer. So getting 4 issues done, if we would have did it issue by issue, would have took us 2 years, maybe over a year at least. And now we're able to fund the book, and now I'll have the money to pay her to just continue drawing it and print it right after. So it's just about quickness. I mean, it worked out. We were funded in a few days, but I mean, I guess financially, maybe it would have been better to go issue by issue, but I like to experiment with these Kickstarters and always try new things and see how it works out.
No, that's definitely it. I mean, you guys have almost 500 backers, over 400 backers already.
Yeah.
I think you did okay.
Yeah, I can't complain. I can't complain.
All right, 487 backers. You are less than $600 away from 30,000. So I think I'll just tip my hat that maybe you made the right decision on this one.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to at conventions I always have single issues, so it'll be nice to have like a self-published trade to sell there to actually make some money back and pay for the table and everything. It'll be nice.
Awesome. I saw on the team that you have Hassan on. I believe Will, you worked with Hassan on Crossover Division, right?
That's right. Yeah, he was our editor on the first issue, and I feel like we were really lucky to get to work with him because his dance card has filled up pretty darn quickly. So we got him on the first issue, and then he was on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, this is my first time working with him. He's the letterer on this project, and he's just really good. I love his lettering style, very creative and unique.
Well, you've got somebody with a real true editor's eye lettering, which has to be really nice to know that you're kind of getting two skill sets in one job.
Definitely.
And what I heard was he emailed Will and said, "I quit. I've got bigger and better things called Majestic." Is that what happened, Will?
It was something like that. It was like, screw you. I want to work with somebody that's talented. Something along those lines. I don't know.
So, looking at this, Gemini mailer, always nice.
Always Gemini mailers.
Yep.
As long as you get them with the cardboard shortage that is sweeping the world.
Oh man, I think I ordered like 400 or 500 of them that I just got stored in my garage for now for these Kickstarters.
I ordered 200 a month ago and they have not arrived yet, but they're on their way.
I've got 70 over here in the corner waiting for the end of this one, ready to go. I'm going to have to order more too at some point.
I've heard people had trouble getting bags and boards as well, and I just stocked up on those. I have like 800 here already combined, ready to go.
I will admit too that as I'm getting Kickstarters now, I'm saving the Gemini flash mailers and I'm reusing them because like at one point, forget looking professional. I'm just gonna reuse, and recycle, man.
Recycle,
Yeah.
smart move.
Actually, I polled my my backers. Hey, Joey, polled my backers and my mailing list people, and they were all like, dude, I don't care. Just make sure it gets there protected. I'm like, sweet. I've got a stack of about 50, 60 here that are used. Slap the new thing on them and send them out. Tape them up.
Mhm.
So yeah, and it's recycling, which makes me happy.
Absolutely. I think one of the Gemini mailers I could have is somebody from a little writer named Jonathan Hedrick with his Capable Kickstarter. Somebody told me when Capable was running, nobody delivers a Kickstarter faster than Jonathan Hedrick. And I think that you made them look like they didn't give you much credit. You guys, like, the campaign ended. I got a survey like 2 weeks later, and within that first month, I might have gotten my comics. How the hell do you do that? And why do you make us all look bad?
I don't know, man. I like the whole cardboard shortage. Yeah, that thing's starting to make me sweat too. So we'll see if I can do that again. But I definitely, everything that is in my control, I tend to not slack on. But if it's outside of what I can do, it's that's the world we live in. And I put that little caveat in my the risks and challenges of every Kickstarter I run. There's going to be some things that I can't, the mail, the politics and all that crap. It's going to happen. Can't control that.
Yeah, and I think that the Kickstarter audience is well versed in this now. That there's some stuff happening, and I've noticed a lot more understanding and patience. I haven't been getting emails in the last 2 campaigns like, hey, when is this going to happen? When is that going to happen? It's just all been like, I think people are more like, all right, I'm just happy anything is happening.
And they're really, really understanding. I mean, having to reach out to backers in Australia saying, I'm sorry, guys. I can't spend $300 to ship this to you. Do you mind if I hold on to it until UPS or USPS starts shipping again, please? And they're like, sure, no problem. I'm like, awesome, thank you.
Yeah, I'm thinking of getting a plane and just flying over there with my 8, only because I really want to visit Australia, not because it's cost effective. My wife would probably not be too happy with that trip, but sometimes you've got to get her mad at you, Well, let's get into Quicksand. Now, you did issue 1 on its own. Is in Quicksand issue 1 through 3, are you printing 2 and 3 together, or am I embarrassedly miss the campaign for issue 2?
Hey, Jonathan, hang on a second. I believe that we were celebrating Curtis's win. Since the last time you were on the show, there was a kind of a big announcement that you had. Maybe if you want to share that with us.
I think you might be referring to the Recount movie.
That might be it. Yes.
Yes, that got announced. I think 2 weeks ago. Peter Landesman is going to direct it and co-write it. If you're not familiar with him, he did a movie with Will Smith called Concussion a while back. He wrote a movie with Jeremy Renner starred in called Kill the Messenger. He's done a lot of like bioepic stuff. He did this awesome Parkland movie, which is about the events that occurred at that hospital that JFK was brought to, which is really fitting that he did a movie like that about a true life political assassination. Now he's going to direct the Recount movie, which is about a fictional political assassination.
Well, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, after we get into the Kickstarter, we might pick your brain on what you can tell us, and I'm going to assume it's probably Officially, you probably won't be able to say much. So please, when we ask, don't expect us to. You don't have to tell us things you're not allowed to tell us.
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
But until that's a movie, and until you're out in Hollywood on red carpets, we got to get Quicksand as successful as possible. So let's pull that up.
Yeah, you did not miss a campaign for just issue 2. I'm launching 2 and 3 together as separate floppies. My artist on Quicksand, Deborah Lanchinese, is awesome. I give her a script and I get layouts the next day, and I give her the green light and she just goes to work pencil and inking them. So while we were getting issue 2 colored, I knocked out the script for issue 3, and I was like, well, why not just launch 2 and 3 together?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's a minimalistic campaign, as I like to describe it. We don't have a ton of covers to choose from. All the covers are from the interior artist, Deborah. My buddy from Legal Burning did do a custom burned cover from the blank cover from issue 1. He does this awesome pyrography work, and he just surprised me one day. He goes, "Hey man, here's a burn cover for your book. Do with it what you want to do with it." And his covers sell from like $500 to $750. And they're so lifelike. He did this one of the Hulk that looks just like Lou Ferrigno, but he did it with like a soldering iron, which is crazy. So yeah, it's pretty simple rewards. You can get everything digital, you can get everything physical, catch-ups. The version of issue 1 here is a alternate color scheme, so I'm calling it a second print. So it's unique to even people who backed issue 1. If you're a collector and you want to get something else that's new, that's there for you too.
I think we're going to call that the high contrast coloring print, not the second print.
Yeah, there we go.
We're going to work on this. This Kickstarter special, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, this is the first 3 issues. How long is this series envisioned to run?
5 issues.
5.
Yep.
Okay.
And pencils and inks are already done on issue 4 as well. So
wow.
I think by the time this campaign ends, you'll probably have already started on issue 5. So it's fast and furious.
And then you'll see if you're going to do 4 on its own or 4 and 5 together based on the schedule.
Yeah, it's really based off of my Kickstarter schedule. I got a pretty heavy lineup already for the first half of 2022, and that's why I launched this one when I did. No pre-launch promotion. I had to drop it when I was able to fit the schedule because it's going to be back to back. Didn't have time to even create a video for it, but I was really wasn't butthurt about that because I've seen a lot of people get the projects we love stamp without even having a video with barely any rewards on there. So I give up on trying to meet that algorithm to get that accolade. It who knows if it even works in the first place. So
I think that it's a wonderful thing to update the backers you already have and kind of thank them for creating it for you. I don't know that it brings more than 5 to 10 extra backers.
Yeah.
5 to 10 extra backers is always a good thing, but I think what it's great is to like the 100 people that are already there, it's something to celebrate with them. Yeah. And I think that's great, but full on success, I haven't seen it. We've had it a couple times and we haven't had it other times, and it's kind of funny. I never understand why one campaign gets it and another doesn't, and then I see a campaign that blows me away and it doesn't get it, and they've got 12,000 backers, they don't get it, and I don't. But you know what, it is what it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Joey did ask, yes, Beethoven and I had a birthday yesterday. That's probably why I'm such a goddamn mess tonight. I apologize to everybody. I am out of it, man. But I've got 3 great projects and 4 great creators. So we're going to barrel through. So you said you just basically, you didn't do a video at all.
Correct. Yep.
has anyone mentioned it.
Nope.
Not
Not
a
at
one.
all. Yeah, and I look back at other campaigns where I spent a lot of money on videos. I've done the whole range of videos. I've done just the single one, no edits, looking straight at the laptop camera of just me explaining it real quickly. I've done called in some favors with some friends. I've done some quick little edits on other videos. It's like Curtis was mentioning, just doing like something different, testing the waters each campaign. So I wanted to run one where I didn't do a video and see if it still gets funded, if it works out. If maybe I learn a lesson, maybe I don't do videos anymore. Who knows? But I got to try something different every single campaign because I'm really not seeing a huge jump in every single campaign enough for me to be like, oh, that's the formula right there.
Right.
If you look at the numbers and you look at like the amount of people that hit your page from like Google Analytics, and then you look at the amount of people that like played the video all the way through, it's usually like a small fraction that actually watch the video anyways. So
I hardly watch other people's videos. I'm like, first thing I do is, all right, what rewards can I afford? And so if the rewards don't catch my eye, I'm not even going to read the story for the campaign.
Yeah, you can always update the video later. Like I think I launched it before without a video, and then I'll just like a few days later, I like added in like a little slideshow video with some voiceover. So it's not a big deal though.
Yeah, I played with the idea of maybe dropping like a different video of me just updating backers that way. Like, all right, it's day 7. Let's blah blah blah. Look what we got now from the colorist or something like that. But I'm also juggling a lot of other projects outside of this Kickstarter, and
videos are always like the part I hate the most. Like I always wait till like the night before launching, and then I just like record some VO to like hurry up and upload it.
Right.
So my thing is I always do it last. I always try to do it, a couple days before. But by then I'm so tired and drawn that I'm like, I think I need makeup. Like I look like a goddamn vampire. You're like
just voiceover, slideshow and voiceover. You got the beautiful comic art, and then just talk over it.
I will say this: I edit as much of me out of the video as I possibly can. Joey says he really loves it when he sees a very well produced video, but it's a lot. It is such a lot of work. MK Palmer, who was on here with Meraki, she does the most beautiful full animation videos you'll ever see. So if you're willing to, like her work is worth this. So I don't want to say it, like she charges what she's worth, and you get these gorgeous animations that you can then use forever. Like everything that Will and I do now starts with the logo for Crossover or Chart that she did. But I remember, I think it was Amanda Palmer was the first Kickstarter of her back. She just wrote on cards and just put them up. So creativity is worth it too. Or just don't fucking do one like Jonathan. Like that's us, man. We don't have to live by your rules, Kickstarter. Baron B, what do you guys do for your videos? I think they are paused.
It depends on the year that we do it. Usually. Okay. Hello?
Yeah, there's a pause, and I'm so sorry, ladies. It's the pause.
Yeah, so
okay. I think we.
We love to see you on the video, but I think it's better. I think it's better without the camera. I think the Wi-Fi there is slower. So without any video, tell us about your video. Now we're going meta on this.
It's very meta.
The other than this campaign, I had just made the videos. Like Adobe Spark is a free program that makes little slideshows and has its own little transitions and stuff. But this time we actually had someone make a video for us. Tell me about the so he's actually an animation student, and so we asked him to do it, and So he was able to put together our video for this campaign.
No, that's beautiful. So he can keep it as almost probably can turn it into his professor and say, look what I did, and then you get a video and everybody wins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think videos are great, and I also think they're nothing. I think that a lot of people I've heard say that the only reason to have a video is to show somebody that you did the video. But like I also think there are no rules anymore. I think at one point that meant something, and now people who backed 50 projects I don't watch videos anymore. I didn't know that, Jonathan, you didn't have one. So that kind of tells you a little bit what somebody who backs a lot is looking for on the page.
Well, I just looked at my Kickstarter current stats right now. I've had 81 plays and only 33%, 1/3 of them have played it all the way through, which is fine by me because the front part looks really great.
Uh-huh.
The back part is just me talking. So there you go.
the front part edited by
MK Palmer.
There you go. So when you're besides the video, what is the most time intensive part of creating a Kickstarter campaign for? This is open up to everybody, and what tricks of the trade have you learned to make it easier on yourself?
I'd say the main page, that story, getting all those graphics laid out, making them look even. I'm not a graphic designer whatsoever. I'm doing things with the snippet tool in Word doc like a old man. And so I pat myself on the back sometimes. I'm like, oh, look, all those squares are like even. How did I even do that? And some of the things, tricks of the trade is don't throw anything away. There's some images that you can really, unless it's just something you definitely know you're not going to use again because you're sold out of that cover or the price went up or something, save that graphic because it's the time that it took to make it could really be used for something else.
That's a really good point.
I've paid graphic designers on like B-Sleds and stuff, and they'll like do nice graphics for rewards and like where like the dividers will say like story and like the art preview, and then I can reuse that stuff on all of the campaigns. But I don't even like get graphic design for like the rewards anymore. I just kind of like list it, and then Majestic is pretty bare bones. I didn't even like pay anybody for that. But my like project story pages, I kind of just like have like it's set up for every campaign how I want it, and I kind of copy and paste a lot of it and then can like replace it with information for whatever series it's for. But I would say the rewards takes the longest. Like I do early bird rewards, so it's kind of pretty monotonous, like going through and you can figure out the prices for everything, but just like manually entering everything and like adding what that reward comes with. If it has like 10 things, it just takes forever. I mean, you can duplicate rewards, so if you are doing the early bird stuff, and then you can just like duplicate it and then just write early bird on it, but that part kind of takes some time.
Yeah, Kevin and I both, we're serializing on, you've done Beastlands, Jonathan, you've had multiple issues. I wish Kickstarter would just let us say, hey, duplicate this campaign so I can pick it the next issue. Yeah. That would make things so much easier. But we are not there yet, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But systemizing it I think Curtis basically sort of hinted at, you make it systematic. You're like, okay, so I'm going to go in here. What tiers did I do last time? Did they work? Did I put my price too high so they didn't sell? Did I put my price too low so I actually didn't make money on this tier? And kind of, hop up and down. But I think once you've done a couple campaigns, you kind of have your ideas of 80% of your tiers, and then it's like, let's do 2 ones I've never done before to see how they'll work.
Yeah, always experiment, and you're always learning something new. And I've started using add-ons. My last Beastlands Kickstarter was my first time using add-ons, and doing it again for Majestic, and those seem to work really well. If you can like find some good prices for like variants that are like only available as add-ons, they sell good.
Have any Baron B, Jonathan, or Curtis, have any of you used BackerKit? to help with the fulfillment or anything like that?
Yeah, I use it for every campaign since I'm on my 13th now. I think I started using it like 4 campaigns in, and I love it. It makes things a lot easier for shipping and printing labels, like batch printing.
Oh yeah.
I don't even use Kickstarter surveys. Haven't used those in forever. I just use the backer kit survey, and then I haven't tried it yet, but I hear like I haven't sent out the backer kit survey for the Beastlands one yet. But I hear if like even if you offer Kickstarter rewards or Kickstarter add-ons, people will still buy add-ons when it comes to the backer kit. So I'm sure that you'll get some like people double dipping for add-ons there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw that in the last campaign. I did this time. I decided to downplay add-ons from the Kickstarter side and just hope that I'll have all the add-ons there for the backer kit stuff, and not charge. That's one thing Kevin and I are kind of passionate about is not charging shipping 2 or 3 months later, when after the Kickstarter's done, they've already paid for shipping in my mind. So whatever they buy add-on, in addition to any add-on on Kickstarter is just they get to throw it in at that point.
Yeah,
I mean, like if you add like an issue as an add-on, it doesn't like weigh that much more anyway.
Exactly.
So it's pretty much built in.
and I think it's a reason to almost push people buying a couple issues. The first 3, I think I do like the first 3 or 4 issues is nothing extra, and like if you buy like 5 or 6 issues, it might be a little bit more, because I did have one Australian backer add so much one campaign. I couldn't complain. They bought like $90 worth of extra comics, and with the weight, it added like $85 in shipping.
God.
I had,
but
yeah.
I didn't, I didn't set it up. So I was just like, well, you know what? I didn't lose money. They're getting books. They're going to be happy. Next time, I'll make sure that if somebody puts that much in, I'll get extra shipping. But I didn't lose money.
You can always region lock add-ons too. Like I have a Beastlands collector's box that's like really fragile and weighs a lot and everything. So I just didn't want to have to deal with using that as an add-on for international backers. So I just didn't even like let them see that option. But for the most part, I allow add-ons for like all international. But that international shipping does does make you sad when you see that $60 for Australia or something.
Yeah. Shawnee says, yes, sometimes I don't have enough budget at the end of the campaign, and if I know they'll be using backer cut, I plan on getting some extras at that time. That's perfect. I mean, I think unless you haven't funded yet, I don't think there's a creator who cares whether you back within Kickstarter or later. Now, maybe if you still have $500 to get to your goal, you might hope people do the add-ons first. But as long as you're above the goal, Shawnee, whenever you want to buy, I think most creators are perfectly happy to sell.
Do you guys use the pre-order store on BackerKit or just the add-ons? Oh yeah, I've never used the pre-order store. Do you get a lot of people coming in late for like buying it on there?
I got several coming in late. Yeah. I mean, it added up. It definitely is it BackerKit launch? I think is that service seems to pay for itself. Definitely. It's definitely worth it. And
I did the backer kit launch for Tart 13 and really, really loved it. But I was a bit like Jonathan for Tart 14, where I was like, I have to get this campaign before the end of the year for really bullshit IRS reasons. I literally had to show a profit this year, or they would tell me that I'm not a business anymore. And I wasn't going to turn that profit unless we made $4,000. It was like cut and dry. Like, I have to do this campaign. And I was like, I have like 6 days to get this campaign up and launched. I don't have time to make launch work. So I'm going to save the $100. The next campaign, I'm definitely going to do it because I think it's absolutely worth the $100 if you use it correctly. But this time I was like Jonathan. I was just like, I just got to get it out.
Baron B, do you have, are you there? Still with us?
Yep, right here.
Awesome. Do you guys have any comments on like BackerKit or
shipping nightmares?
Yeah.
We've never shipping nightmares always. We've never used backup kit or anything like that. We do add-ons on our own website, and then they just add it to whatever total amount they're gonna have.
This time we are actually using the Kickstarter add-ons because that's available to us now. So we're going to see how that goes. I always wondered about backer kit. Like
Have you noticed many people using the add-ons this time?
Yes, definitely. Like a crazy amount, honestly.
yeah.
I know
I
Tyler
like it a lot because
James.
it can be exactly.
Tyler James' advice is always once you hit like 200 backers, he advises getting into backer kit, and if 100 to 200, it's up to you. So it kind of like the Kickstarter survey is perfectly fine for 50 to 150 backers. Get to 200 backers, and backer kit kind of starts to pay for itself. But as long as you're getting the add-ons within Kickstarter, you're fine.
The shipping
Okay.
integrations.
I just learned how to integrate BackerKit like with ShipStation for international orders. I didn't even know that was possible with like the whole API key and stuff. I was like, what am I doing here? And then it saved me so much time instead of having to like copy and paste those international orders.
Absolutely.
API key. I think you just started talking Latin. What is that?
I don't know. I Googled it and I figured it out. There's an API secret and an API key, and you have to like copy and paste it from like ShipStation.
Put those guys
into
together.
And then there's like a secret option in BackerKit when like you're in fulfillment and you click fulfillment integrations, and it just takes you to this whole other world where it pushes the stuff straight into ShipStation. It's crazy.
And then it synchronizes after you've printed the label saying it's been shipped, and then it's so sweet, man.
Technology.
So
yeah. I mean, I wish I would have known this like a year ago, but I just figured it out like last night.
I feel like Will and Curtis are like in the Da Vinci Code, and I'm just not. Like you're just saying all these code words, and I'm like, the Knights Templar, what? That's awesome, though. If it works, it works. Yeah. Shawnee says, Will and Curtis obviously got the secret decoder rings. But you learn something. You learn something new every campaign, and if you're like me, you learn it by making a mistake every campaign, and then figuring it out, and just trying not to make the same mistake last time. Like I said, the shipping. The one person, they didn't do anything wrong. They bought a bunch of comic books. So I sent it. I didn't make as much money on those comics as I thought I was going to, but that's not their fault. That was my fault.
Yeah, I had a backer in I think it was London, and they were at 4 pounds 1 ounce. So shipping went from like $35 up to like $80. And I was like, I can break them up. I'm like, just no. I just shipped it. I wrapped it up and shipped it out. Okay, I ate it, whatever. They got the books, which is great. So
I've tried to do the breakup and done the math, and it's been like a difference of like 5 minutes. And you're like, it's already packed.
I know.
Or $5. You're like, it's already packed. Like,
yeah. Have you guys ever put the Gemini boxes into those like bubble mailer envelopes?
I put mine in the legal flat rate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So those Gemini boxes will actually fit into some of those like big like flat rate mailer bubble mailers. So it can save you in like some instances. For Canada, it saves you like $10, but for like UK, it could save like $5 here and there. But it helps. Cool.
No, it's certainly good. And then you get, like Will said, you get the full 4 pounds internationally. Whereas if you're not in one of those legal flat rates, or I haven't found a bubble mailer that fits. I'm gonna have to look for that. But the hard cardboard, you get 4 pounds, and everything I send 2 pounds. Not usually close to 4, but see, if you haven't run a campaign, you don't understand how that 1 ounce Will talked about is just hurts your soul.
It just gets you right here, man. Right here.
Yeah. I've had some 9 ounce comics trying, and it's been like the difference between $1.23 and $2.45, which doesn't sound like a lot until it's like 80 of them.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shit.
I had a
Oh,
Go for
sorry.
it.
One of
No,
my
go ahead.
friends asked what I wanted for, Christmas, and I was like, "Can I have some mailers for my Kickstarter? That'd be really cool."
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. It's a
You
gift
need
that
it.
keeps on giving.
Just remember that you can go to USPS.com and you can get those the legal flat rate envelopes he was talking about for free. They'll send those to you free, so don't pay for those. Oh, and the funny thing is now the rain's coming in here, so it was probably north of me with you guys. So now I'm probably going to start freezing.
I would highly recommend getting one of these. You can tell where I'm sitting. This is my digital scale right here. I've got my Dymo 4XL label printer just sitting right there.
Yeah, I got the same one.
That thing's awesome. It's totally awesome. Thank you, Tyler James.
Yeah.
Yep, I think I heard it from him too.
If you aren't checking out Comics Launch podcast, you need to do it. I'm not saying you're doing it wrong if you're not, but you can do it more correctly. Tyler's the man, and he's. I always tell people when they come to me, if they're like, "Hey, my friend has a book and wants to Kickstarter it," I say, "Okay, listen to the first 12 to 15 episodes of Comics Launch, and then let's talk." Because even though that was 4, 5, 6 years ago that he did it, it's still a primer on what Kickstarter is and what you need to do to maximize it, and then we can talk. And if you don't listen to it, I know you're not serious, so I don't have to waste my time.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think that we've gone through the campaigns. We're going to do the thing now where Will and I go through the books that are still on Kickstarter.
Do we want to go through the campaigns like one more time? So
yeah, definitely we will. But I'm letting
Okay.
Curtis and Jonathan Barabee know that if you're on the East Coast like I am, and you're tired and you need to get rest because you got a campaign on, you don't have to hang with us. But if you'd like to hang with us to look at the other campaigns that are still live, you are more than welcome. Before we do that, I'm going to go to the banner and we're going to do the elevator pitch one more time. Curtis, let's do Majestic once more.
Let's see if I can remember it now. So
no,
it's about.
so now let's consider that I've come to I've done the first pass where I kind of went past you, and now I came back and I'm looking at it. So how would you try to really get me into the book when I look a little bit
for
more?
that second stop at the table?
Yeah.
So it is a beautiful fantasy adventure about a shape-shifting girl, and she meets a young boy outcast named Mako, and they go on an adventure where he has to prove himself a man to return home. And it is over 80 pages in a softcover paperback, and this is the first volume of 3.
I noticed there is the lead character doesn't seem to be very clothed, but what would you say the age range of this book is? I don't want to say it's adult oriented because it's, like I said, it's not exploitative looking at all. What would you say your target age range that you're looking for?
I would say probably like high school and up, or 16 plus. That's probably like most of the stuff I create is probably in that age range, but I would say it's fine for like high schoolers at least.
Okay, cool. All right, excellent. All right, Jonathan, let's do Quicksand and we'll get Barabee to close it out.
All right, so I like to call Quicksand a mashup between James Cameron's Aliens meets Stargate. So if you like big, scary looking alien monsters and badass mercenaries blowing them up, then you're going to like Quicksand.
I wanted to ask earlier, where did you guys come up with the schematics of your aliens? Is that out of your brain, the artist's brain, or is it a collaboration between the two?
A collaboration. So we were like, let's look at a bunch of aliens and monsters online and make sure we don't copy anything too specifically, but we know that we're going to, things are going to look like something regardless. So It came out around the same. Issue 1 launched around the same time as that Tomorrow War. I haven't seen it yet. The one with Chris Pratt. I think it was on Amazon Prime, and people were like, "Oh, it looks like those monsters." I'm like, "Oh, well, I didn't know about that movie." And then A Quiet Place 2 came out, and people were like, "It looks like those monsters." And then someone said, "It looks like the monsters from Something's Killing the Children." I'm like, "I'm ripping off everybody, but back my Kickstarter."
We had done Tart 3 a year before we released it at all, and about 2 months before we were going to be releasing them as a webcomic when we first started. I picked up a Saga number 5, and they had that spider character, the Stalk. She, she was like a spider, and she had like, and they're not exact, but they're very similar. And I was just like, fuck.
That happens. I read a good article from Robert Kirkman about him, someone breaking him the news about 28 days later, and it having like the same opening as Walking Dead number 1. And look, Walking Dead turned out to be what it did. So there's nothing wrong with things being similar. I've had plenty of publishers turn down some of my stuff and saying, "Oh, it sounds too much like this." I'm like, "All right, well, you come up with some Shakespearean stuff and invent a new story that doesn't sound like anything else, and I'll give you $5 for that."
See, all I heard Jonathan say is Tart is going to be 100 times bigger than Saga.
Yeah,
that's all I heard. See, that's a mindset you need to have to be a creator. You're like,
twist those words
this is going to be the greatest thing that has ever happened. All right, cool.
Well, I had been calling Crossover Division Crossover since I started writing it. Or Crossovers was with an S. I've been calling it that, and I had art done. We had the pitch package ready, and then Crossover drops. I'm like, crap.
Crossover by the name is really well-known writer, right?
For Donny Cates.
Yes, thank you.
I'm like,
okay,
I gotta. So I had a really intense 3-day period where I, went over the highs. I went through all of the stages of grief and everything, and I finally got, my new title. So I hear you guys.
That can be a blessing and a curse, though. People Google Crossover, and something happens, and they come across yours.
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's
it turned out for the best. I really think it did. But at the time, you couldn't have convinced me of that by any means at all.
I tried to get Will to say it was written by Donny Cates, but he said that was a bridge too far.
Yeah.
Well, Baron B, one more time, walk us through Sunburned.
Well, Sunburn is the last of a trilogy of prequels for our main comic, Rebuild the Sky. It's a space opera about people from different walks of life coming together to save the universe. And this prequel follows the love story of the two main characters, basically, and how it sets up the rest of the comic.
All right. I want to thank all of you guys for joining us. Really appreciate it. Have a wonderful holiday break. If you want to hang with us, Will and I are going to kind of go through the campaigns that are still live. We're not going to be able to go through Moana McAdams because she funded tonight.
Yes, good job, Moana.
Very, very happy for her. We can say that we have yet to have a campaign that we have talked about not fund, and that has nothing to do with us, even though we like to pretend there's an explain yourself bump. It happens because we choose really good projects to talk about with interesting and awesome creators, and we appreciate you for joining us and being part of that.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Always.
Yeah. Have a good night, everyone.
All right.
Thank you for having me as well.
Absolutely. Nice to meet you, Curtis.
Nice to meet you.
Curtis.
Nice to meet you.
All right. So, Will, what we got? What we got?
Thank you.
We got.
Good night, ladies. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for being here.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Anytime.
All right. Well, we still have this little thing called producing the end of the world.
We certainly do. Let me see if I can. Well, before that, I think we got this little thing called crossover division, don't we?
Oh, well, okay, yeah. If you want to talk about that, we can talk about that.
Well, let's do it a little bit more. It's just you and I, so we're not keeping anybody else awake. So, how many days do you have left in this campaign?
We have 12 days, like almost
of Christmas.
11,
right, I got that.
11 days to go.
And you are fully funded, $4,500 of a $4,000 goal, 175 backers.
And we just hit our first stretch goal while the show was on. So thank you. We are at 4501 and our first stretch goal has been achieved.
Explain yourself, Bump.
Yes, that's totally giving it the credit for that, man.
That's right, Shawnee. And then there were two. We're gonna keep it. We appreciate people staying up very late for us. We do this show late at night because it allows our wives to go to bed, and it allows us to talk comics without anybody in the family feeling like we've ditched them because they're asleep. But we can't expect any other creators to stay up with us because they might not have the same reasonings as we do.
Exactly.
So this crossover, we cannot. You have not divulged, and I don't know. Although I might have a guess, it is a Shakespearean play, but we don't know which Shakespearean play is crossing over.
Exactly. One of the reasons I kind of want to keep that under wraps is because
you've never read Shakespeare and you don't know.
Yeah, Shakespeare is his name like Bob Shakespeare? I've read some of his work. Yeah.
Yes.
I want the characters are going to get it wrong, and when they get it wrong, bad things will happen. So and this is a 2-part story, so. Ultimately, they get it right, but that'll be in issue number 4, which will be coming out, next year sometime.
Oh, so this is a 2-parter.
2-part story. Yeah, this is our first 2-parter.
Nice.
I mean, the first and second issue have some connective tissue between them, but they're pretty much standalone. But this is definitely a continued story.
How did that feel?
Not bad. I mean, because it's I knew kind of the beats I wanted to hit, and I wanted to end on a cliffhanger. Which I've done before, like with Diary of Night. I knew I wanted to. That was a 4-issue thing. This is I try to break. Yeah, I know. Writers are evil, aren't they, Shawnee? I really like to try to break the overall story of Crossover Division down to really like 5 arcs, almost like a 5-act play, basically. And we're kind of getting to the end of the first act, even though, each issue is structured more like a 3-act, this traditional 3-act stuff. So, it's more about playing around with all of these fun, literary things. And, I totally got to write some bad iambic pentameter and get this. I think I mentioned this maybe before, but I showed a Shakespeare line from the play to my wife because I had a character speak it in the 4th issue, and I had mine, and she couldn't tell the difference. So
there you go.
I think that's just because she's not a Shakespeare reader, not because I'm any good. So,
well, listen, you can write as well as Shakespeare, and you're not dead. So,
that's right.
Who's winning?
I'm totally winning. That's right.
Well, I wanted to make sure you had a chance to talk about Crossover Division. Will and I want to make sure that our guests, get the shine, but you are still running. So I wanted to make sure that you got to show it. So yes, I am. now we can talk. And producing the End of the World
That's
anthology.
Right.
This is an anthology. What was it, about 100 pages of about 16 different creator groups, and each individual story has to do with the end of the world in some way or fashion, and the creators have to deal with the end of their world within their short story. With some lovely artwork and really cool concept, and definitely a campaign worth checking out.
Absolutely. And that we had Anthony and was it Mario on, and it's definitely I feel like that we can trust that they've curated this one very well.
Yeah, no, a lot of effort went into it.
Yeah.
And Dig, the Alex Cormack illustrated and John Lee's written. It's kind of, I think it's a prequel that we kind of get to know more about their iconic character, Mr. Dig, the fox with the shovel. Again, horror, crime, comedy. It's dirty Scotland crime horror. And I mean, if you like the gore and cursing and Tarantino-esque violence, this is a great comic. And if you do not like that, I have good news. Don't back it.
Yeah.
You don't want it, and they don't want you there. So that's what I can tell you is it will absolutely appall you if you're not into,
if you love
crime.
If you loved Sync, you'll love this. If
Absolutely
Sync repels you, so will this.
Some guy named Charlie Stickney has a book out, How I Slept My Way Through College and Other Tales from Freshman Year. This is the story of a freshman journalism student who finds out that one of her professors is running a call girl a business using students. It's a thriller for mature readers. It doesn't get into actual nudity, but it does get into some adult themes. So he does say it's mature readers. All I know is Charlie puts amazing twists and turns, great characters, and he puts extreme thought into his books so that they can be compelling without being exploitative. He even has sensitivity readers to make sure that his male gaze doesn't overpower the story. Female art team, and I think it's definitely worth checking out if you're into mature readers types books.
Yeah, Charlie always, I mean, he builds the worlds out. He's really good at kind of immersing you in the worlds of the characters. So yeah, it's definitely I'm really looking forward to that. And I think that's it, isn't it?
I think that's it. That douchebag with the tart campaign, he's done.
And he did awesome.
He's very happy. He's very happy and very happy to be done too, because campaigns are fun and amazing and tiring and
all of those things.
Certainly happy. And speaking of being done, we're done for the year. We looked at the calendar, and the next Friday is Christmas Eve. We're not going to do a show on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And the Friday after that is New Year's Eve. We're not going to do a show on New Year's Eve. So we're going to be like doctors and take the next 2 weeks off.
That's right.
All
Absolutely.
Right. We really appreciate everybody who tuned in. Shawnee, I think you're still with us. Really appreciate you being part and really being part of the show with the comments. That makes it so much more fun for us that you're
and for the guests
part.
too.
Yeah,
our creators.
So Shawnee, happy holidays since you're here. And if you're watching this in the future, I hope you had a great holiday, whether it is Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, some holiday that I don't know about, or you're just like, I'm going to make up my own holiday with hookers and blackjack.
Okay.
You too, Shawnee. We love it. We love that you take time out to be with us. So for the rest of 2021, happy holidays, and we appreciate you hanging with us and allowing us to come and just chit chat about comics every Friday night.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks to the Geek Collective for
Yes.
giving us a spot to. Do they know what we do? I mean, really? I don't
You know what? If they did, and if they watched, the mess of Kevin tonight, they might not let us back in 2022. But they gave us such a cool video, which I was going to surprise you with, and I forgot about. Again, mess. I'm just a mess. I am just out of it. I don't know. I saw Spider-Man today. Maybe, and no spoilers. I'm not going to spoil anything. Maybe it was too much for me. I don't know.
Too much for you. Nice.
No, here's the one spoiler I will give. There's 2 end credit scenes, and the second one is really just a trailer for a movie that will come next year. So I felt like, man, I wish I didn't wait for that. It was fine. There was nothing wrong with it, but it was just a trailer for a movie,
Yeah.
The first end credit scene is worth waiting for, though. So
Gotcha.
all right, guys, have a wonderful holiday, a happy new year, and we will see you in January.
That's right.
We have no clue what those projects will be because it's going to be a whole new group of campaigns. So excited to find out what we'll be talking about. Good night.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. Thanks.
Oops, I hit the wrong button. Now we're going to end. You know what? You start a mess, you end in mess, but that allows us to put up Shawnee's good night.